Throughout its 40-year-long journey, the Legend of Zelda series has given us countless unforgettable memories. Time and time again, Link and Princess Zelda have risen up to the challenge and fought off the powers of evil to restore peace upon the lands of Hyrule. The franchise has allowed millions of people from all over the world to immerse themselves inside the mythical lands of Hyrule and relate to the unique characters that reside in it. One of the main themes that surround the games is that of heroism and the general concept of the Chosen One. The concept of the hero, or the Chosen One, is well rooted in mythology, literature, and other various cultural narratives. It often reflects archetypal themes and ideals that explore the human condition and the struggle not only between good and evil, but also between personal desires and societal responsibilities. Certain social preconceptions and themes are embedded in the collective unconscious of humanity, such as the sense of duty and honor, empathy, the will to protect the weak, or the impulse to provide help and the willingness to sacrifice for the greater good. But also a big part of the hero archetype is the innate human desire for self-discovery, growth, and the fulfillment of a higher purpose. One could argue that humankind's progress, both spiritually and technologically, is a direct result of that. Except for the inherent drive for self-actualization, accepting the challenge to embark on a difficult quest also stems from a strong sense of morality and altruism. By making a choice to follow the heroic path, the hero must embrace the responsibility to create meaning not only in their own lives, but also the lives of others. The hero archetype also has some general tropes. Within their worlds, heroes are often being born with superhuman abilities, or possess particular knowledge, or being directly assigned the role of the hero, either from a deity, a prophecy, or even by an ordinary person. In the case of Link, the main belief is that the hero can be anyone. Doesn't need to have supernatural powers, nor he possess some exclusive knowledge that will give him the edge. He is just an ordinary normal person with a high sense of duty and courage. Maybe this courage is meant to be seen as an ability, since it is strongly suggested that it allows him to tap into the courageous aspect of the Triforce, directly linking him with the divine grace of the goddess of courage. But maybe it is simply a trait that is required for someone to possess if the spirit of the hero is to be developed within them. On the other hand, Zelda's character embodies the more traditional hero archetype, with her being fated by destiny and heritage to play a crucial role in the ongoing battle against evil. Her possession of superhuman abilities further reinforces her status as a chosen hero. However, this doesn't make her journey any easier. In fact, it often adds to the weight she carries, as she also has to struggle with the burden of responsibility that has been placed upon her. This contrast between Link's and Zelda's paths underscores the complexity of heroism and the various ways it can manifest. But despite their differing circumstances and abilities, both characters face equally difficult challenges and hardships on their respective journeys. This situation adds depth to both of their characters and enriches the overall narrative of the series. Whether it's through courage and determination like Link, or strength and God-given powers like Zelda, the essence of heroism lies in the willingness to confront adversity and stand up for what is right. While the adventures of our heroes are often portrayed as uplifting heroic tales, filled with determination and positive encounters, it is essential to recognize that their journeys are terrifying in concept. Link's journey is often portrayed as a grand adventure, but beneath the surface lies a constant struggle against powerful foes, isolation, and the weight of fulfilling a purpose. A constant battle that tests not only his physical strength but also his mental fortitude. His journey is filled with tragedy and challenges that often expose his weaknesses and test his absolute limits. A great example of this is found in Ocarina of Time. In that story, Link lost both parents in the Hyrulean Civil War. His mother, with her last breaths, managed to reach the Great Deku Tree and entrusted her son to be raised among the Kokiris. A few years later, as the forest gets infected with Ganondorf's evil, Link has to take on the mantle of the hero while still being just a boy. He is forced to leave his home and friends behind, casting any personal desire aside and charge forward into the unknown. Later, and still as a boy, he is essentially imprisoned into a 7-year-long slumber in order to gain the physical abilities he will need to complete the quest. After he wakes up as a grown man, or at least in a man's body, he witnesses a rotten world that has sinked into darkness. Even though he still has the mind of a young boy, he has to muster his courage and resolve and travel into the across Hyrule, fighting horrifying beings. After a long journey that is sure to have changed and matured his consciousness, he finally manages the impossible. He rises up to the challenge and defeats the Demon King Ganon along with Zelda's help. After the conclusion of the battle, he is sent back in the time where he belongs. Upon his return to his own time, probably the most bitter part of Link's conclusion in Ocarina of Time happens. in the form of the departure of his steadfast fairy companion, Navi. Navi, who accompanied him every step of the way and was perhaps the only being capable of truly understanding him, departs from his side. While some theories suggest that Navi simply vanished, as fairies tend to once they fulfill their purpose, I personally believe that Navi left because Link is now matured and can no longer be a child. It is relatively unknown that Link and Navi are inspired from the stories of Peter Pan and Tinker Bell. You can see many similarities, from the clothes Link wears to him living in a forest with ageless kids and fairies. In the 1991 Spielberg movie adaptation, Peter Pan eventually matured and moved on from his life in Neverland. This concept of maturing and losing the ability to be child again and re-entering Neverland is ever present throughout the movie. Similarly, Link has now matured and he can no longer continue his life as a kokiri. In a tragic twist of fate, he once was a kid in a man's body. Now, he is a man in a kid's body. A bittersweet ending that symbolizes Link's transition from childhood to adulthood, but also the extent of his sacrifice. Zelda's journey offers us another unique perspective. Her portrayal encapsulates the weight of destiny and the struggles that come with it. Born into a role of great responsibility, she grapples with the knowledge that she is the key to protecting Hyrule from the forces of darkness. Despite her efforts to develop her powers and safeguard her kingdom, she often finds herself facing overwhelming odds, constantly being hunted or imprisoned by her enemies. The recurring theme of Zelda's suffering and feelings of helplessness and isolation underscores the complexities of her character and the challenges she faces as the rightful protector of Hyrule. Despite being told that she possesses the power to defend her people, she frequently finds herself unable to overcome the forces of evil alone. This sense of inadequacy and the burdens of responsibility and destiny weigh heavily on her. Zelda's journey is marked by moments of vulnerability and resilience as she confronts her fears and battles against the darkness threatening Hyrule. Her struggles serve as a grand reminder of the sacrifices and hardships that come with being a hero, even for ones being destined for greatness. Despite the challenges she faces, Zelda's determination to protect her realm and her people remains unwavering, showcasing her strength and resilience in the face of adversity. From a more general perspective, embarking on a grand adventure to save the world requires major personal sacrifices. Sacrifices that extend beyond the physical toll of facing enemies and overcoming challenges, and delves into the psychological realm, where we must also grapple with the consequences not only of our actions, but also of forfeiting personal aspirations. Heroes find themselves torn away from the comforts of home and the embrace of loved ones, leaving behind family, friends, and romantic connections. This separation creates a profound sense of isolation and loneliness. And finally, in my opinion, here is where the true tragic undertone of the entire The Legend of Zelda game series lies. The results of our heroes' sacrifices cannot be certain to have a significant, lasting impact on the world. We as the players know that there is an endless cycle ever presented. No matter how much sacrifice each Link and each Zelda must endure, in the end, the cycle will keep repeating itself into eternity. If that is the case, what is the point of it all then? Why should they keep fighting? What is the meaning of their existence? As living beings in their respective world, Link and Zelda not only have a predetermined duty to fulfill, but their own nature strongly compels them to cast aside all of their personal aspirations and focus on the sheer responsibility of rising up to the challenge no matter the cost. This doesn't mean that they can't or do not have egos that they need to satisfy. On the contrary, ego is what provides them with inner strength and conviction. After all, the inevitable conclusion of having a healthy ego is the embrace and acceptance of the heroic role. Their ego is what makes them know without a shadow of a doubt that they are enough, that they are the right person to see the task at hand through. And their personal individualistic reward, of course, cannot be found in the conclusion of their story. It comes from the journey to get there. Even if their victories aren't meant to have everlasting impact, it is the journey itself that feeds their sense of self-worth and fulfillment. Their personal growth and development contribute significantly to that. But also, amidst the chaos and turmoil of their journey, there exist priceless moments of peace and tranquility. Whether it's enjoying the beauty of nature, taking a moment to reflect, or simply sharing a quiet moment with a companion, these instances serve as reminders of the beauty and wonder that still exist in the world, even if we are to take ourselves completely out of the immersion and be strictly players. In most games, the end goal is simply the excuse. We play games to experience unique journeys, and every Zelda title makes sure of that. I might find myself hoping for a deeply story-driven Zelda title here and there, but in the end, the soft, light-hearted, and almost unimportant nature of the story manages to make the journey all the more important, unique, and distinctive. The destination is simply an excuse for the journey to take place. And I think this is something we all experience regularly in our normal lives. As we continue to mature, we constantly seek out new destinations that would serve as an excuse for new journeys to happen. And I do apologize if this will sound morbid, it's not intended as such, but the reality is that all of our lives share the same predetermined destination. However, what truly matters is the path we take to get there. In the multitude of lives that have come before us and those that will follow, every single one is a completely different, unique journey. Even if we eventually fade into obscurity and our actions have no lasting impact, the journey itself is still worthy of being undertaken. Every single time. In the solemn acceptance of their fate, Princess Zelda and Link bear their burdens with a courageous heart and a profound sense of duty and honor. Despite the personal sacrifices they must endure, they understand the necessity of their roles in preserving their ideals in the world around them. They find a bittersweet solace in their sacrifice, carrying on knowing that their actions ensures the prosperity of others. This is what their journey is all about. This is their own purpose, heavy and glorious. The heroes' struggles and triumphs resonate with audiences because they mirror our own personal aspirations, challenges, and existential ponderings. After all, we are the heroes in our very own tales. Be it predetermined by fate, be it harsh and difficult, or not at all, our life's journey is our own personal grand adventure, our own glorious purpose. Thank you all for staying until the end of this video. If you found this video interesting, please consider leaving a like so that you'll help me reach more people, and be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any new uploads. Thanks again for watching, and as always, I will catch you all in the next one.